Greetings, I'm Lance.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together.
All right. So we are on we're on book 11, chapter 1, because we have just run into Julian, who is, I am guessing, pretty much trying to protect us.
So yeah, we ended on a cliffhanger on the last episode, and we had could be 900,000 things, but we pretty much decided between ourselves, without looking anything up because still going blind, that it is Julian. Somehow he did a quick change for no reason, and he's going, I will protect you all. I do not know you. Pretend you don't know me, and you will be safe.
Because something's happened, basically.
Yeah, that he's got people chasing him, or he's in trouble, and he's been found out, and he's like, I am turning myself in, and you will not be connected to me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, so yeah. And then since it's a new thing, they're like, yeah, by the way, here's a hop. They do short hops and long hops.
They do.
They just don't tell us anything cool happened in between in most of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like there could have been so much implied. Or exposited character building,
right?
Going, that things you learned something off screen, and they just don't.
Or
take
it would be
advantage of
interesting to see, you would use your short and your long hops, if you made choices in that particular section or before that section popped up, it would actually be affected. Going, you had a good time. I think you've mentioned that before. You had a bad time. I
don't think I mentioned it on screen. I'm not sure, but basically that when they've done their hops of the day went by, that if they told you that if your choices affected whether that day went well, medium, or poorly, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, exactly. All right. Last night, Julian was taken away in chains, and I was left behind in the chaos.
Actually, I think that's the big reason, though, why we've gotten upset in regards to the premium choices on this game. Because as far as I can tell, they do not affect, so other games, they usually teach you you buy out the premium option because what you're looking for is to get closer to whatever character you want to get closer to, right? So Dragon Age teaches you to do this in the first one, in the original, crazy. You actually go and you can specifically buy or find items
that make the person happy. Well, even in really simple dating games as well. It's you give them gifts, you give them flowers, you give them chocolate. You pay into them as a person, and it increases your relationship.
Right?
And in this one, the premium options, it seems to think we've taken them sometimes even when we haven't. But they also don't seem to have any, they don't seem to have weight to them at the moment.
But that's also, what frustrates me of going, but you've set, this is the genre, right? This is the genre of the dating, and you've taken your premium options, and you've completely gutted them, other than going, woo, you might be able to touch people or find out more information.
Exactly. It's
vaguely, and it doesn't affect anything.
And the information doesn't come up later, because, there was one that I played that was really stupid a long time ago, and I think it was just called, Ganguro Girl, and it really was, a dating in Japan game, and it was very silly, but, they really did was, you needed to remember, what her star sign was, you need to remember what her favorite food was, that kind of thing, but you buy her these things, in conversation, you would buy into these other conversations, or you would buy into objects, and then she would tell you information about herself,
which is terrible, making relationships transactional, but it's okay, God.
But it is a way to sort of mimic getting to know each other, within the limitations of the game, Anyway, so I couldn't sleep a wink. I just sat up worrying. In some location. Was I in the castle? Was I in Portia's hut? Was I back with Asra? Who knows?
It looks like it's Portia's place, but I have no idea.
Why would I be there?
Yeah, I know, of all places. Also, again, I'm
Anyway, every time I closed my eyes, I saw his face. The way he looked at me before his proclamation of guilt. What was he thinking? To protect you, which he has tried to do several times. He's tried to sacrifice himself for you several times. This sounds very in line with what we, our character, would know about him.
Pretty much.
This morning, the palace is quiet, but buzzing with barely restrained tension. If Portia and I are going to save him, we'll need to act quickly. How come Asra's not involved? Again, how come you're not talking to your actual mentor? Again, I don't...
Other characters literally don't exist,
understand.
And it's very bothersome, actually.
Also, going, not even as a sense of, I need magical advice, Asra, you are my magical teacher, but going, you are
an element of this. You
are a more experienced individual than I am, so I could ask, and we're also friends. Aren't we friends? Are we friends? I think we're friends. Why wouldn't I ask my friend for advice?
Right?
I've only just met Portia, but I've known Asra for a good amount of time. Why wouldn't I talk to him?
Right?
Because you can't speak to people unless you're trying to date them. I don't know. That's what it feels like.
It's just that weird isolationist fantasy thing that I don't really like much.
It feels weird.
I can't believe he had time to plan his big entrance, but not talk to us first. Oh, the idiot brother of mine, I swear, I gotta twist his ear next time I see him.
You should. We have to figure out what happened. Something in that dungeon must have made him think he was guilty and needed to change his clothes immediately to not implicate you. Because otherwise he'd be in a servant's uniform and someone might go, but weren't you walking around with him in a bad wig?
Yeah, no.
Like, I get it, but where did he get the
Unless
clothes?
basically there's a thing of him going, we were being forced to do something that would have caused something that caused the plague, which then he goes, so this was my fault.
But my fault was actually the plague, not the murder.
Was being complicit, basically, where people would be like, you were complicit because you were doing this, but also though he was forced, so I feel like he would get a lighter sentence, but that's again me going off of my particular, you know, political background, but also I'm like, everybody's response is always like, instead of, you know, re-educating and helping people actually, you know, work through and support their communities and becoming different people, we're just going to murder people, because that's
we're also going to control
problems.
them. Okay, so based on the teeny tiny bit of information we know about Lucio, based on this arc and the sort of stupid behavior in Heart Hunter, because again, we're doing this blind, what if he was just like, I am essentially, you know, entitled and disconnected and I can't seem to control my kingdom, and I could create a plague that would control them in some way, and then I could cure the plague and they would all love me.
Says Count. I don't know. Maybe.
But I don't know. That's a theory.
Who knows? I don't care what he thinks about his guilt. We've got to get him out of there before it's too late.
I'll talk to Nadia. I haven't spoken to her since she walked away in the garden for reasons I don't know what are, but maybe she wasn't available to me because I've never built any kind of rapport with her as her employee. So, you know, we'll just go from there.
Which is also, that's a really weird, like, Portia has more guff with this, so she'd be like, hey, I wanted to talk to you about this. Like, Portia could set it up, so that way Nadia goes, oh, this is more of a personal, more intimate thing.
Portia is extremely close to Nadia. She's her handmaiden,
but also
as well as, like, head of staff.
Right, it's really weird.
Like, it seems like Nadia trusts Portia implicitly.
Right.
And so it's like, if it's like Portia and I are working together, it seems like there'd be more conversation with your boss. Me, I can't work for someone without talking to them, but that's like me at all. I feel lost in a job.
If you can convince her that he's innocent, I'm sure my lady would reconsider. I mean, she was already kind of like, that's a really damn good point.
Yeah, she's convinced that it needs further looking into at the moment if she's stayed in the same position after an entire night of whatever.
Right? And she'll need to know where Ilya's being kept, and she'll know where Ilya's being kept. Meanwhile, I'll work on plan B. If things go wrong, we'll need to get him out of the city as soon as possible. Pronto.
The city. Pronto.
Pronto city possible.
Jailbreak.
Yes!
Jailbreak.
Why would we do that?
I don't know.
If we're trying,
basically, if she has...
Be legitimate, and then let's be incredibly suspicious and break him out.
Okay, so sometimes people believe their emotions more than facts, and you can actually put out the research paper that most of the time people believe their emotions more than facts.
It's true.
Well, yeah, but that paper doesn't feel true. Like, I don't think I like it. It's funny, because it creates a paradox of proving itself. Anyway, but it's like going... If we have unequivocal proof, here's the murderer with the matchstick in their hand right here. Well, I feel emotionally that it was Julian, so he's getting killed. Jailbreak time! Right? Basically.
Yeah.
When I find her, Nadia is sitting at a small table on the veranda, gazing thoughtfully over the garden. Is she dressed differently in her pensive, murderous way? I get the feeling she was waiting for me.
You're doing it too. It's fine. We're all losing our mind. Oh, you gotta talk to yourself. Time to talk to yourself. All right, be prepared.
Ah, nerd. Take a seat. I've just started breakfast. You look like you have something to tell me. I would hope so, yes. I am investigating the thing that we just had a major break in. I take a deep breath. Countess, I still have questions.
Actually, my biggest question is, can you explain to me from your perspective what you think happened?
By the way, would you tell me your story from the beginning on the day of his birthday? What happened with Lucio? Actually, start about it. How did
tell me about the events leading up to and surrounding and involving? Like, so that's
when you're investigating anything, even if it's in a working environment, it really is so what led up to this, the event. Like, if you have an incident of somebody was hurt, or there was an altercation between employees, whatever it was, you go, what led up to it? What exactly happened? And then what did you do afterwards?
Are we going to do a fishbone diagram?
We need a fishbone diagram.
I love fishbone diagram.
For the Arcana and what happened with Julian. You know, if we get through all the roots and ultimately we're able to make a fishbone of what contributing causes were and what did it, that'd be great. If we can actually fill one in, that means the story writers did their job and they covered everything.
But the thing is if it requires going through all of these chapters, I think I might die. All these books,
I have questions, too. You've raised some interesting points about the chain of events leading up to the murder, after all. Have I?
I mean, the
point of magic was involved. We don't know what those events are, but you know what those events are. And also,
he doesn't use magic. He literally can't use magic.
2 points. There was magic, and he can't use it. Excellent. Interesting points.
But some usually means more than 3 or more,
No,
right?
some can be 2. Okay, so some is generic. Few and couple both have implications.
Okay.
And as far as I know, some is more than 1.
Okay.
And not a lot.
All right.
You raised some points. I raised 9 billion. That's some. No, that's many. That's multitudinous. That's huge.
That is a legion of points, which actually is even greater than that if you brought up 9 million.
Yeah, legion actually is a number.
Legion is totally a number. It's really fun. It's what is it, like 1,000 or something like that?
I think, I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
A ton. No, I brought up more than 1,000 pounds worth of points.
Dang it. How do you weigh points?
A ton is 2,000.
How do you weigh like points?
In your game, how much do points weigh? 1 ounce, 1 pound? I need to know.
Especially for my Fallout 76 run, I need to know how much a freaking paperclip weighs. Anyway, it's fine, go ahead.
Okay. Oh my god. And you have a scrap of paper and it weighs 1 pound. And you have a paperclip and it weighs
1 pound.
I love those games where the minimum weight of anything is 1 pound. You can have a rock that weighs 7 pounds, but really, if you have a toothpick, it weighs 1 pound. Can you imagine how big a 1 pound toothpick would be trying to clean your teeth with that?
Honestly,
the look on Scandal's face was amazing.
That would be fascinating. You'd be like, this is a weight. This is a 1 pound
burden.
small isolated weight. Because like 1 pound of pressure in one area, like
that
you could stab through.
If
yourself.
you dropped that, it would just puncture through floors if you were high enough. Like
flesh.
Oh yeah, well forget that. It's Slytherin.
I don't know, but maybe.
It feels like the knife one. It's a heated knife. You can toast the bread while you cut it. Or flash. Slytherin. But please, do eat something.
Well, somebody went torture device. Somebody else went, it would help seal the wounds. So that was a Ravenclaw, actually. And then the Hufflepuff one is, yeah, but like toast.
But toast.
There's the Hufflepuff.
But what about the toast?
The toast.
Looking at the spread of flaky pastries on the table, I suddenly feel famished.
Oh, I haven't eaten in years!
I haven't eaten in most of this game, so yes, I am always hungry.
We're always either drinking alcohol
or not eating.
Which again is not to say that
if we had to define what the game tells us about our character, we are a pushover, insecure doormat that nonetheless tries to help people and is led around easily, but is still curious and thoughtful, almost never eats and drinks alcohol.
And I mean, and you can still get
everyone drinks alcohol. I was just saying, that's just how our behavior is so far. And we're really deeply oblivious when we first wake up. Like, period.
Honestly,
that is it.
Like, going back, we actually, for just kind of a laugh, we went back and watched some of the beginning stuff. We were shocked, going like, this is still really full on, like, Bella Swan levels of, oh my god! You know, you're hitting into things, running into things, saying the wrong thing.
We're also a bit clumsy, that one. Yes,
and now we suddenly dropped it.
And we're very short.
Yes, we still are. That one is at least stayed consistent.
Like, these are the canon things that the game has shown us that we don't get to choose about of who our character is if we stick with the text.
Which is fine.
It's just funny.
Honestly, I wish they would have stuck stronger to
looks down on you all the time, except for Mazalinka. Looks you straight in the eyes.
And maybe Portia doesn't look down on us.
I think Portia, we're about the same height as Portia, based on, I don't think she's ever been described as looking down to us.
Yeah, Mazalinka looks up at us.
So we tuck in eagerly. In fact, I have something to tell you. I said to you that I planned to hang Dr. Dvorak once he was caught, but I have reconsidered. He will have a trial. Oh, yes! Good. Yes, trial! Of course, trials usually involve the praetor declaring the accused guilty and deciding a punishment. But as part of my reforms to the city, I'm establishing something based on a Prakran custom. I couldn't word the word.
You're fine.
On a Prakran custom. A trial by jury. This will be first case to see a court of law. Oh no.
This will be the
She suddenly
first
cuts into pidgin. Nadia, is this your first language, dear? Which is fine, because you are doing brilliant. However, this will be the first case to see a court of law in Vesuvia. You will be able to present your case to the people. They will decide the verdict by popular vote. So if you've been watching this series, you know that I, Lies, am profoundly dyslexic, but I work really well with it. Like, I've practiced reading so goddamn hard in my life. However, if you have a missing word, because I read so much by basically focused sight, rather than, like based on, and then prediction based on the first letter.
Right.
Because the other letters start to jumble. If you're missing a word, I can get thrown off so hard.
It's distracting, it's true.
You will be able to present your case to the people. And we're going to turn into the law game. What's the stupid
Ace
law game?
Attorney!
We'll be Ace Attorney!
Yes!
Okay. I suddenly want all the, like, the Ace Attorney scenes in the courtroom just filled in with the Arcana characters. Like, that'd be so great.
And we're going to be able to somehow fill this in with a culture that literally has no exposure, no interest, and potentially doesn't even know what the crap this is. Can you imagine how big of a hellstorm this is going to be?
You have to teach them all how to do this?
We're going to do this in, how about, well, like, let's guess. Are we going to do this tomorrow, the next couple of days?
Or are you going to call in experts who know how to do this? We're going to bring actual lawyers from my land and have people, have them coach and direct people, or be a part of this case.
This is going to be wild.
That'd be amazing.
This is also...
I am glad you are ballsy and you can do this. Change will happen now. It actually lines up with her idea of going, I have done nothing on this case at all, period, since the beginning years ago, and suddenly it's just sitting on my mind so heavy that I race out, grab the apprentice, fling them into the middle of it, and go, I did something. She's going, I will make the change now. She is not a small progressive change person. She is a, you do nothing or you do it all now.
Which is...
That is all we know about her so far.
That seems, and also the fact that she can hide her hair, like, wow.
Like, dude, her hair can go up into a scarf, like, amazingly.
She is a boss scarf hair hider.
She does. She's like, scarf hair game on point. All right. You will be able to present your case to the people. They will decide the verdict by popular vote.
Which means that, okay, so one of the big problems sometimes people have with stuff like this is that what you're doing is playing to the jury. And actually that's been one of the biggest arguments, like, that's been involved with law, is that it's actually sometimes really frustrating. You're going, logically, this is the thing. But
that's the emotional versus facts. If they like this lawyer better, they're more likely to go with them.
There's also an unfortunate, terrible, basically, phenomenon where they've pointed out, so when I was doing sociology, one of the biggest things that we talked about was actually even, like, in courts, they've actually done cases where they've simply had an attractive-looking dude who was the bad guy, right? Who was playing the bad guy. Like, they just had an actor, right? And he just sat there and he said nothing.
Right, he was the accused.
Yep, and he was the accused, and he just sat there. The defendant was just there, and they were all like, no, he was really great, and he was really friendly, and really this. Like, the response the jury had to him was insane. They were like,
and then they duplicated the same case with an unattractive man, right?
With an unattractive guy. And they just were like, I just didn't trust him, blah, blah, blah. All these really weird morality, character-assuming traits are like, he said nothing.
So I'm going to go into this later about how appearance and appearance coding affects our emotional intellectual behavior.
Which is actually, I think, one of the reasons why people have been very interested, actually, in serial killers, of going like, but they look so good, and they look so nice.
And a lot of them look well put together. And in movies, they work so hard to make them look creepy, weird, disgusting.
Some of them.
No, some of them. Some of them. And other ones, even if they're like, we chose an actor that's conventionally attractive, but we worked really hard to make those off-putting as possible. Everyone's like, no, he's still attractive. You know what, let me try and explain everything he's done and make it be okay and still relatable because he's attractive.
Because we do also, though, teach people to do that, societally speaking. We go, no. If you're attractive, you're a good air quotey person. You are just inherently better. We do it in our media all the time.
In the original Beauty and the Beast, not the original, but the original one by Disney, the cartoon one by Disney, there was a huge row within the animation department, the design department, about Gaston being attractive. They didn't want the bad guy to be attractive. They're like, he is a bad person. He can't be attractive. And there was one person, I don't remember the name, who
I think it was actually the head of the person who did the story. He was
anyway,
a gay man.
He was arguing, and he was going, he needs to be attractive because he's not bad because he's ugly. He's bad because he's a despicable person.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can have bad people who are attractive. And they did something really remarkable with Gaston. And even as that movie had its own problems, that as a character archetype is not at all common. And he comes off so effectively sleazy, inappropriate, invasive, and unappealing that even as you look at him and go, that is an attractive person, you don't feel it.
Or it's the fact that he has a lot of the monikers of this would be considered attractive. I know some people probably in the comments are going,
different standards of attractiveness. However, for me, I noticed it when his hair went down at the end.
When I was
a kid, like, I could not see it in his face with the way he was styled when his hair was up. But when his hair went down, I went, oh, damn.
Right, in the rain, I was like, I am suddenly at a conflict point, and I went,
I did not see you as attractive, and now you have hit my spectrum.
Pretty much.
Yes. Anyway, I will be making the announcement soon. You have until this afternoon to prepare. Welcome to Lies and Scandal, live blog.
We don't podcast anything.
Convincing an entire crowd. That could be harder than convincing Nadia directly. However, do we have any other facts?
We don't know, Nadia. How do you know that this would be more difficult than convincing Nadia directly? Actually, mobs sometimes can be so easy to influence. Like,
also,
my
is anyone arguing against you, or is it just the feel of things? And also, we can assume half the jury's on our side.
Right? We know this. The city, half of it split right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
Crap out of it.
Yeah, we got fan people everywhere.
And yes, Julian.
Right. Convincing an entire crowd. Okay, that could be different. We really don't know, Nadia. As well as we don't know what we're working with. We don't know what the prior evidence are. We don't know if we're fighting against another person, if we're just going to show up and be like, here's my case. Kill him or not. I don't know.
Right. But also, I'm like, our character at this point doesn't know how to do that. If we came from this area, which I don't know where our character came from at all, like where our origins are, who our family is, whatever connections we've had or had not, all I've got is Asra. That's it. I was just like, what?
But I'll at least have a chance to defend Julian.
Do we know how to prevent events in
the
Procran way? Yeah. What do you do? What do you say? What
is she going to train us? Her sister's going to train us.
That would be great.
That would be super cool. And now you're in a classroom. Boink, here you go.
I must study so much.
You are now at Hogwarts. You are learning law. Damn.
You have shot through the ceiling, and suddenly wizards have extended education.
Yay! If you would like to question the doctor himself, he is being held in the dungeons underneath the Colosseum. Okay, did you just gut the red market under the Colosseum, turn it into dungeons and shove him in there? I need to know, because if that all happened last night, that's amazing.
Oh, she is a tornado.
She is like, I will muster the 2 guards that I have and every other person I know, and we are going in there, we are dragging them all out, putting them all in the cells somewhere else. Or maybe we'll just directly take everyone to the red market and put them in the cells down there while I convert it. Everybody line up there, chains and manacles on all of you. We're turning these shops and markets and buildings into cells, everyone in one. We will address your cases later when I have time. Murder first.
Murder of the count first. Though,
no, but I mean basically addressing this murder first.
I know, but I'm just like, that is so wild. Like, the level of, whoa!
Or are there literally 2 entrances to 2 separate locations under the Colosseum? Like, holy shit.
That doesn't sound...
I love her as a tornado of action. I love it.
I might be pretty, but damn, I float like a butterfly, sting like
a bee! I
sting like a bee.
Again, impulsive, incredible action. Like, she thinks for a long time about the build-up, and then she acts immediately. Not really impulsive, but immediate action. There we are. If you would like to question the doctor himself, underneath the Colosseum, how would you get him under... Wow, that's amazing. The top of it has been abandoned for years. Oh, does she mean, like, here's the seating on the Colosseum, and the bottom row of the Colosseum is the cage where we kept the fighters, and not below it underneath it?
I don't know. I thought underneath it is where you did keep some fighters, depending on...
like down in the actual basement area. Yeah, not, in cages where everyone could see them. I don't know.
I do declare I
must know more about the Colosseum. Let me learn.
Oh,
that place has been abandoned for years. Hopefully it will find new purpose as a place of law and justice. You're gonna have your court there? And your prison? Holy crap! Outside the palace wall, life proceeds almost as usual. Many townspeople are already up and about. But today, the chatter is a little different. History for her.
Hey, did you hear? The Count's murderer got arrested.
Of course he did, but I heard he turned himself in.
What? No, he charged through 12 guards to try and kill the Countess.
Rumors spread quickly, though the story seems to have been distorted along the way.
Play a telephone game, but magnify it by 3 million.
Yeah, pretty much. And everybody trying to go, but I should have known something more. I'll just exaggerate this word slightly, and then your synonym exaggerates it slightly more. Right. The Colosseum looms ahead of me. The arena is empty, except for a guard at the doorway. One guard at the doorway, and I have no escort with me. I just walked by myself, with no new information, with no support, with no connections, down to the Colosseum. You can interview him if you like. Why wouldn't I bring someone else with me?
Come with me. I
have an experience, and I'm doing something I've never done before. You might not know about it, but another face there would be great. Even if I obviously can't bring Portia because this is her brother, so they would assume there'd be some level of...
well, I mean, they don't know that they're related.
They don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I
keep forgetting about that. Okay, so I could bring her with.
Except that would be weird, and also Portia's usually busy.
No, I know,
but like she's who live inside the
5 people at the palace. It's fine. I don't know. I'm just like, why wouldn't you take someone with you? We are out of our depth based on everything we know about this who we have to be. All right, one guard at the doorway. Is there only one entrance to this Colosseum? If this is a Colosseum and you have to seat, 10,000 people in here, maybe even 1,000
So
people,
you don't realize
one doorway.
This Colosseum is actually the size of a thimble.
Oh, excellent. Well, there we go.
Itty bitty.
We look down at the Colosseum and go, I need magical entry, please.
And he goes, I don't know how I got here, but sure, you're allowed.
Yes.
And you suddenly shriek, whoop, whoop, and go inside.
Like, it even suggests another doorway on the other side. Like, usually you have, like entry from many ports. Even, like theaters and sports arenas and stuff, you have multiple entries because you cannot funnel everyone in at once.
And you would not want to. You would be stuck there
God,
for hours.
So
God,
hard.
we've been to so many different arenas sometimes where you're just like, okay, with one door being closed, this sucks so bad.
Right. If you normally have 3 entrances and you close one of them, it kills traffic flow so bad. It's amazing. So unless this is a very small Colosseum, which, I mean, we don't know the time period, we don't know the size of things, but it doesn't look small. They salute nervously and step aside, allowing me to pass. Why did they salute me? Because I have permission to be there? Did someone send a runner to let them know I had permission to be there? Did she establish it last night?
It was fine. It's fine. We have no process of anything. Nobody follows us. Nobody takes care of us. We have nobody who's
here it
our
is, here it
assistant.
is. This looks like a different part of the Colosseum's underground than the Red Market. They really did, like, seal off the walls and they split it in half underneath the Colosseum or something.
That's hilarious.
That is wild. I just imagine this sort of, like, crime underlord running this kind of thing, being like... So what I did when I planned to do this was I really literally sealed off the part of it with easy entrance, and I just made it look like it had always been that small, and then I just started building the Red Market.
It's fine.
It's fine. I've got this. All right, this looks like a different part of the Colosseum. It's a wide corridor with cells on either side. Most are in disrepair, littered with debris. But one of the cells has been fitted with a new door, and a barred window I can look through.
The music is amazing.
That is wild. Hang on a second. This is so different than anything else. This feels
We're having quiet rave music.
It feels like
very
sort of
soft techno.
Like that sort of 90s, like, here's your sci-fi sort of like intrigue music. That's amazing.
I have to dance. It's fine.
You
gotta dance.
We're having a tiny rave here. Oh, look at that. It kicks up.
Oh, it kicks up.
Like, that's amazing.
That's great. And drop the bass.
Yes, and then you drop it. Drop the other shoe. That's great. That's wild. All right,
on somebody's head.
A new door. They're not barred doors. Weren't they barred? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It contains a bedroll, an untouched tray of food, and Julian, manacled to the wall. They took away part of his clothes.
Well, you know what? He wasn't going to be able to fit in there with the entire, like, broad expanse of that starched experience, you gotta admit.
His cape would have been too wide to get through the door. I mean, we didn't say how small the cells are, but they left his gloves, but they took away his cape and his vest. I mean, I know they're stitched together, but still. Manacled to the wall. Why isn't he manacled to the wall? Also, if you manacle him around his gloves, he's likely to be able to slip out. Like, he's more likely to be able to get out of it because it creates a different size.
Nobody in...
On the other hand, the buttons would probably stop him, so maybe they were thinking. But it seems like he'd have more danger of, like, like hygiene damage. Maybe he's not supposed to be there that long, because, like, manacles are...
Again, I'm like, are we literally going to do this tomorrow, and everybody's going to be trained and prepared, and the crowd knows how it's supposed to interact, and what things they're allowed to do or not do?
All right, everyone, welcome to orientation. We're going to teach you how to have a trial by foreign standards, and we're just going to do this. Like, so there is no dress rehearsal. Everyone on your best behavior. All right, there's enough slack in the chains for him to move around the cell, but not to reach the door. All right, the important question, does he have a potty? I need to know, is there a chamber pot? Is there plumbing? Is there a hole? Is there a pit?
Or in the ground?
Yeah, like, is it essentially a composting toilet? Like, where does the boy relieve himself? Because please help me out.
It's important, actually. Diseases are coming.
Very. Holy crap. Hygiene important. He's pacing, keeping his head down, muttering to himself. Oh, it's his sleep routine. I shouldn't interrupt.
This is terrible. Julian, in jail. Us. He's preparing to go to bed.
I'm sorry to call back to the episode at Mazzalingo's because he's like, muttering and pacing, and that's the best way to get to sleep. Well, if you can't sleep, you can always try muttering and pacing.
I'm also like, they only have a guard on the outside, not a guard inside the cells.
Or a guard the entrance even to the cells. This is the entrance to the Colosseum.
That's what I mean. On the outside. Like, just all the way on the outside. So the entirety...
So here's what it is. We just need to go in there, get him out of there, take him to the Red Market. When I push open the cell door, he looks up.
It's not even locked!
It isn't. Oh my god, it's not even locked. They're like, the chains will hold him. Nothing else is required. We don't even need a guard. It's fine.
Poirot walks in. It's okay. I help you, mon ami.
I have it. It's okay. I brought a bobby pin. I'll just get you out. And then we will prove your innocence while you are safely away, and everyone learns how to have a trial anyways.
Hey, this is ridiculous.
Because at this point, you are so poorly guarded and so poorly protected, someone could even come in here and attack you. That is part of the thing, is when you lock up a criminal, it is for, theoretically, their protection and everyone else's protection. Because if people are angry at them, they can go in there and hurt them. If you just go, here's the bad person, let me tell you where they are, everyone can be like, you know what, mob time.
That's actually one of the big reasons, actually, some people would just get killed before trials and things. Or get killed before, basically, they were even seen. It was just like, people go, I know where you are, I just murder you.
Exactly. And so if he's not protected at all, except for by one guard, imagine if someone has it in for him, and they're just like, I go and fight the one guard, and then I come in and kill you, and then I go home.
Right?
Oh, he is in so much danger. At least most people like him. Well, at least half people like him. At least he's got a 50-50 chance of somebody...
But the question is that's also the thing of going, just because you like something, does that mean, though, you'll basically stick your neck out on the line when somebody else comes to kill him?
Right.
Because a lot of people weirdly go, it's much easier to go attack someone than it is to defend someone.
To defend them. It is. Honestly, yes. But why isn't the cell door locked? That's freaking wild.
Also, when did we get a key if we have a key at all?
It doesn't say we unlocked it. It just says we push it open. Is it magically?
No, I'm trying to assume better of the writers, but I'm like, okay, so if you're going to say we had the key, where'd we get the key from? Did Nadia hand it to us? I'm like...
Nadia hands us a key and says you can go and interrogate him if you so desire. Or offers us a key.
Which I'm also like...
And then we choose whether or not to take the key.
She trusts us so implicitly, with no guard, no aid, no nothing.
To show up and talk to him.
And then we won't free him.
And then we won't do... whatever.
Especially because it seems like nobody seems to know what we do with magic, so we could basically break those chains according to whatever. Because I'm like, I don't even know.
We know nothing about magic. Nobody else knows anything about magic.
So clearly we can break chains. It's fine.
We could do something. Who knows? Worry, fear, and affection flash across his face in rapid succession.
You're right.
Yes. Then, as if remembering himself, he clears his throat and schools his expression into neutrality.
I mean, yeah. You've come to hear my confession before the trial, have you?
I was like, he is so theatrical. I'm just gonna say drop the act. Nobody's here.
Nobody, we have nobody.
Again, though, even if people were here...
I'm gonna be mad if it'll be like, drop the act, there are guards. I'll be like, screw you. You didn't mention them, why our character wouldn't notice them is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say drop the act. There's nobody here. Additionally, if there were guards, we didn't tell Nadia, but you're innocent, and we don't know what he found down there.
No kidding.
So, like, we don't know what his part in this is. I'll just drop the damn act. Who cares?
Yep.
Drop the act. I seem to have taken him off guard for a moment. His villainous facade.
Villainous!
Villainous.
You'd call neutrality villainous.
I was just like, he schools its expression. You fool.
You foolish fool.
If you don't know, fool. In a children's movie, that's how you show that someone's the bad person. They call everyone fool.
Fool. Like, for the next 6 hours?
Yep, that is the insult, fool.
That is... I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you, Julian.
You think you know me? You don't know the first thing about me.
There's no one here.
What I've done, what a monster I am. This is long overdue. Is it time I face justice for my crimes?
I feel a hum in the back of my mind. It's coming from the cards in my pocket. I gave them back to Asra. When did he give them back to me?
When did we get them back? Oh my god, I was going this whole game going, well, we no longer have cards. That's fine. And the Arcana has been completely dropped.
Because we did. We returned them to Asra.
We are 11 books in. And we have used the Arcana deck how many times?
Right at the beginning. Twice. Yes.
At the very beginning.
It. Yeah.
This is a wildly
we haven't used it at all in here except to give it to Asra. Like in here.
I'm saying, like, actually using them though. We've done nothing.
In the prologue. I don't know.
I thought that just to be weird, being like, we had this big, huge kerfuffle about the Arcana cards, and...
The name of the game is the Arcana.
I know.
We haven't even confirmed that the deck is called the Arcana, because in the prologue, Nadia said the Arcana, and we went, is that his deck? And we've never talked to him about it. Unless we tell him events of the entire day. Also, are these cards called the Arcana? Like, it's never... We don't know that we know that, because we officially on screen don't know that. We're not sure.
It's fun. I'm like, it's still ridiculous.
When did he give us the cards back? It's coming from the cards in my pocket. It seems like the Arcana have something to say. And why, if they're his cards and he's here, did he give them back? Did Asra leave again? Did we miss it? Did we not say hello and we also didn't say goodbye?
I say hello! I say goodbye! Hello, hello! Oh, you're gone.
You say hello. I say goodbye. We walk away. Don't even try. All right. Why don't we ask the cards that?
Really? You're gonna tell my fortune? No?
I'm gonna use your real name. Can I use his real name? Because like previously we told the fortune. So actually Scandal and I just realized as we were going back through old material, which we mentioned, that he said you can call me Julian. So we're like, what name shall we give to, what's your name? Because we need to know it for the cards. And he gave us a false name. So I'm like, will we get a different destiny if we use his real name?
Right?
Anyway.
Like that would be what I would do.
Humor me.
Being like, fine, screw it.
Where do we set these out? Like, do we have them wrapped in cloth? Do we put them on the dirty dungeon floor? Do we put them on the bedroll? Like, how do we respect the cards in this instance? I sit down, I stick my legs straight out, and I lay them out across my pants. It's fine. That's how I do this. Julian, sit down. I need more room. Your pants too.
It's fine.
All right. Pep. All right. That. Justice reversed.
See? What did I say? This is justice, isn't it?
Let me finish.
You will freaking listen to me? Because I am done with your crap. For some reason.
Justice's message is simple and clear. Biases and chaos run rampant. Truth and objectivity have fallen by the wayside. Justice cannot be built on falsehoods.
What if everything I've done has been built on falsehoods?
Even your hair.
What if you didn't know me at all?
Well, if you didn't remember anything, that's fair. There are cases of amnesia where people really do become a completely different person because you are built on your experiences.
Yeah.
While your core instincts are still there, like your core personality is there, you're still working from information that you have. I
love the cases, honestly, with amnesia, where it really does, honestly, bring into very clear focus for me that argument of nature versus nurture. And we are so much our environment that we really do have a really hard time of going, we know who you are intrinsically as a person. We are so wildly shaped by the things around us. It's wild. And I don't want you to know the real me.
Yeah, it's okay.
You deserve better than that, nerd.
Knowing you isn't what I deserve or not deserve. There's no deserving of it's fine.
After everything I've done, I bet you wish you never met me.
I don't know what you've done,
oh my God.
Who knows?
Hey, so that story thing we talked about where you would explain things for what you did remember?
Hang on. After everything I've done, I bet you wish you didn't know me. But I did. That's not true. I can see how that's not true, but how does but I did answer that?
I am completely, wait, what?
So you say to me, I bet you wish you didn't even know me. Or, but I did? Wish I even knew you? What does that mean? However, I'm not going to argue with him because I don't believe that his opinion is untrue. So if somebody says, this thing that's my opinion, and you say, that's not true, it's still their opinion.
Right.
Like you can say, I don't agree with that. But just saying a really blank encompassing statement like that's not true invalidates even their position of feeling. Sometimes I'll say, what I think is this, and people go, no you don't, or no it isn't, and I say, what I think is this, so it is still what I think.
And they go,
well, that's not true. And I go, okay, but up until this point, and until I get new information, it is the only thing I have to think.
Right.
So I'm just going to say, but I did, whatever that means. But I did. Want to get to know you, I guess? Or
but I didn't get to know you anyway, despite all those things, baby.
I guess. Yeah, it doesn't, I'm not sure how that works, but.
Yeah. Wishing won't change that. That's great, actually.
Wishing won't change that. All right,
even when I bring you misfortune.
It's true.
It's like
wishing will not change even when misfortune comes your way. Unless, that wish is accompanied by plan and action. And then you can change a lot.
I know, it's like, well,
God, I wish this had gone differently. Okay, it can't have gone differently, but it can from this point go differently.
Right?
But if you say, God, I wish this was going better, you can address it at that point and get it to go better. Like, you really can take, like, a night or an experience and go, this has sucked. Everyone's disorganized. No one's getting along. We didn't know what this experience was like. Half of the event is over, and we're all just in a bad mood. And at that point go, hey, I know this might ruin the mood, if you will, but it's already kind of ruined. let's see if we can pick this up from here.
And let's
then make a new
do
plan.
something else.
Yeah, you can shift your activity, you can do something else.
Instead of remaining
a
basically a victim, especially when you're aware of it, going like, there's something wrong here. That's like the thing of going, I went to a party, I wasn't having fun, God, I wish this would be going better. If you're not having a good time at the party, leave. Or you have no reason then to
try to change something.
Yeah, or change something.
Right? Going,
like, talk to your
friends
like? That you go with to the party, or whatever it might be. Like, change your experience.
All right, misfortune it is. You can't blame yourself for everything.
Even when it's my fault.
How do you know it's your fault? But it's true. There's not usually only one party at fault.
I should have done something. Anything. Instead, I just...
ran away for years? Is he talking about something he found yesterday? So is he... like, come on, you've gotta... we don't have any information about this case at all. Give us something.
Please.
I cannot solve a mystery with no clues. Maybe I'm getting through to him. But, what?
What?
I just want you to be honest with me. Tell me what you found in that dungeon. Thank
God!
Thank the deities, thank the forces.
I feel like this is so frustrating, because, like, getting the information isn't even organic. It feels very awkward.
I kind of just want to be like, thank the writers. Like capital writers, thank the writers.
Capital writers! Well, that is... in my old office,
Then he jerks in shock, his eye going wide with horror and fear. Is there someone behind us?
There's someone behind us! No, no. You'll get nothing more out of me, nerd.
Did the one guard walk down here?
Besides, you don't want to hear about how I murdered the Count?
I can't help him if I don't know what's going on, but it's clear he isn't going to answer my question. Okay. So I don't look around to see what startled him?
Or he just sort of realized that he was talking.
Maybe.
Because I feel like, unfortunately, we're not going to have very many character interactions here, because it's like, well, we can only,
fit so many voices on the screen.
It's fine.
It's fine. I'll just have more conversations with myself. You can have conversations with yourself. It'd be great.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it.
I'll bring like 9 people into our acting booth and be like, hello!
Hello, I am Peanut.
My name is Truffle. Well, if you won't tell me, there's only one thing to do.
Go to the dungeon.
I will go down there myself and find the other way out, and it's fine. And you're 900 changes of clothes. Also,
honestly,
your old, office. Did you just call your cell an office? Oh, I'm my old office with the bars and the manacles and only the ability, and only Lucia to come down and keep me company and yell at me because he's sick. That's my whole life. It's fine. My old office that I was caged into and was hidden in a dungeon no one knew about. It's
an office. This is what we call offices. Honestly, though, mood. Offices are kind of...
It's a cubicle. You mean a prison? Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
Now, the fact is that they do call them cells, and it's really scary sometimes. Because they do. The term, technical term of going, they're cells. You've arranged the cells of the office.
Right, like honeycomb cells.
And you're like, no,
it's
honey.
Cells.
They're cells.
They're kind of cells.
Wait. You look like you're planning something. What are you planning?
It's okay, you don't care. You don't know me and you're not interested. I'm going to go see that dungeon for myself.
No!
Just like that, his villainous facade cracks apart. Oh, he looks so sad. Okay, you can totally see the relation between them so hard when he makes the sad face. Like, that is Portia's sad... that is a familial sad face. Oh. Poor baby.
No, don't go down there, nerd! It's dangerous, you could get sick! And I can't...
Is the plague down there?
You can't even get down here. The key didn't work for you. You couldn't possibly be as bad as me, nerd.
If Muriel can get down there, I could just take him with me. On the other hand, the key didn't work, but maybe I can pick locks. You don't know what I can do.
You know what my magic does?
I
don't know what my magic does.
I don't even know what my magic is. You know what? I tried it with the key, but I did not try it with magic. Additionally, the whole mechanism controlling it is a magic machine, and even if I've never interacted with a magic machine in my life, I might try.
Watch me!
Okay, so
I love how ballsy we suddenly are. Genuinely, this is sort of hilarious to me, because I'm like, this is so wildly different, it's hilarious.
Well, yeah.
The tone of this, so whatever character they've decided to write has completely shifted.
It's amazing. We're like, we are a pushover for polite conversation, but when we believe in something, damn you to hell! You don't know that. I don't know that.
Huh?
I'm missing memories too. Julian, years of them.
Wait, what?
We are?
We are?
We get to learn this about ourselves now?
What?
whenever I try to remember it, I get headaches. Maybe my past is as bad as his. Maybe it's worse.
But how did, when...
Some realization strikes him, and his next words come out in a rush.
That's even worse. Now it's absolutely vital that you listen to me. It's your missing memories, these headaches. Are they anything like mine? And I'm not saying they are, but they might be. Then if you remember, if you get those memories back, you could get hurt.
Did you get hurt? I know those headaches well. They do hurt, but we haven't mentioned a headache.
Hang on, Nadia's mentioned headaches. Nadia has mentioned headaches.
Yes.
Right. And so...
And he's had headaches. I really am, like...
Every single person in this entire thing, then. So based off of that has got...
Asra has wiped everyone's memory, and his memory spell gives people migraines.
As far as I can tell, or maybe it is an Asra, because we don't know.
It's true.
Like, we have been going off an assumption that Astra's the only one, because he's the only one we've seen who uses this much blatant freaking magic.
It's also the only one...
our memory.
Right, in the prologue, he's wiped our memory. And if we assume the prologue is something you're supposed to know heading into all of these stories, which based on the structure and the fact that you can't play any of these stories without reading the prologue, because they don't unlock the roots.
Right.
That is the foundation of this. We as players know that he can wipe memory and did wipe our memory of him, interacting with us. So that is the only canon we've got to work from of who can wipe memories.
Right.
And if there's someone else, cool, but we also don't know anyone who uses magic. And based on our interaction with the town so far of going, you're the magician and you're the magician's apprentice, like, there's nobody else that does magic openly or that is a magic person around here.
Right. And that could drive...
except for, apparently, Portia, because Asra was able to just teach her magic at the table, ostensibly.
We have no idea. Honestly, that weird little conversation blurb didn't sound like, and Portia has learned a spell. Bing!
It doesn't. It was like, yeah, sure, I can totally just
teach you some conversation.
Here. And it wasn't even like, I'll test you for aptitude, I'll see if you can. It was, sure, I could just teach you some here, and Nadia's watching. That sounded really weird.
It really did.
And I kind of want to go like, I know, Portia, I never talked to you about this. What kind of magic did you learn from Asra?
What if that happened too, though? Speaking of, so remember how Portia also said that he'd changed so much when we ran into each other again? Of going like, is Portia one of the ones, maybe like her memory might be intact? Because I'm assuming, based off of that, actually most of the characters we've run into that actually have portraits, right? So I'm not saying just anybody.
Right.
But because obviously we're not going to be paying attention, unfortunately, to the pumpkin bread seller. But that means like literally...
My love.
You're darling, my sweet. You give me sweet crumbly things and I love them.
And tea.
And tea. But really, maybe like Portia is one of those because depending on where she was, she might have not been within the influence of the spell, or she might have been.
Or if it's individual, if it's all like basically the curse on Julian is something he asked for because the curse or the alteration on Muriel is something he asked for. What if Asra has been involved in all these people's lives and has been trying to do whatever they asked for and didn't know how?
Also, here's my question. What would be so bad about remembering if it stops you having headaches?
Right? But it could hurt you to remember. Are we literally going back to, again, endless sunshine of the spotless mind? You don't remember your bad memories, so they can't hurt you. So if it was a painful memory, sure, it can hurt me, but the headaches hurt me, so...
Right?
I also never get to work through it and learn from it.
Right, you never actually get to move beyond it. You're literally arrested to that state of mind because you can't move beyond it.
I know those headaches well. They do hurt, but not knowing hurts too. Not knowing who part of me is and choices that I made can hurt. I have to go.
Wait!
With a rattle of chains, he lunges away from the wall. He can't get to the door, but he can reach me. He looks down at his hand, wrapped around my wrist. He loosens his grip until he's just barely holding on.
He's like,
it
was too tight.
I was not trying to be rough.
Yeah.
But he is still holding on.
Please wait.
I'm listening. I will absolutely listen. We barely get to talk to each other.
No kidding. I'm like, I'd rather have these conversations. Come on. I'm like, honestly, sometimes I want to go back and just go through all the premium stuff because it seems like, so if they're not going to add anything to the story, then they don't do any harm. Like, and I appreciate the fact that they get, like, where they go into him being super stressed out and super horny the entire time, so he's coping a lot.
Yeah.
But there's also the fact that you could potentially get more information.
About who he is as a person?
Right? Like, maybe
not that even him, like, flirting aggressively out of stress and anxiety isn't informative to his character. Yeah. Because it is. Going, I am trying to indulge in this thing because of this. But, like, so much of it felt so dangerous and uncomfortable to me.
Right.
And also some to scandal. It's just, like, it just... It wasn't something we wanted to do.
Yeah, thematically it didn't seem like it fit much. Of going, like, if you're going and he's in danger, also, why would I want to continue?
Why are we as reckless as he's being? Like, right? I'm not that reckless. Like, I don't feel like I am, but also I don't think of Nerd as being that reckless.
Right? Especially when we started from the beginning of going, we're a doormat and also incredibly shy and awkward, we run over things. I don't know, it's just like, again, I'm like, what character did you write?
Yeah, who were you writing?
Like, that's what I want to know.
Do you know what I wanted? Especially since you couldn't remember it. You were ready to, he was ready to come here to die. Yeah. That was it.
Except that we already...
Okay, so the thing is, yes, you came back to do the right thing, but what you believed was the right thing. You never considered, 1, that you may not have murdered him, 2, that someone else may have murdered him, 3, based on the sum of the court, that he wasn't murdered at all, like that he's still alive even.
Right.
I just came here to talk to him. Is he hiding under the bed? Is he animate of the portrait? It just looks like a portrait. It's actually him.
Right.
Like going, damn, we're holding a seance. He is dead, but we have access to his ghost. We just ask him how he died.
Right.
Yeah, it's fine.
The thing is I feel like, so also this feels like kind of the last vestiges, which is not, because clearly we have so many other chapters ahead of us, which is what's killing me.
Right, it's like, how is it so much left? Also, we're not telling him. I mean, what I would want to do, honestly, comfort him for me, if I was going to comfort him, it would be like, Julian, it's not as black and white as you think it is. We're going to hold a trial and actually look at evidence and argue the case. It's not just hanging or nothing.
And also going, said I would help you.
Yeah. I'm going to continue helping you. My life's going to hurt me anyways, with or without you in it.
No, Chuck.
Life happens that way.
No,
I was just going to comfort him. I don't know what comfort looks like, but I don't need to shake sense into him. He's already fragile, and he's brought as low as he can go.
No, I'm not trying to do the shake the sense thing, but also just being like, it's okay, but also going, you're still trying to basically cling to something that you also know isn't true.
I also don't want to support what's true. I don't know if comfort him means, I'll support his perspective.
Right? Well, that's the thing where I'm hesitant with that particular option.
I still don't know which one it is. Shake some sense into him sounds aggressive, though.
I know.
It doesn't sound like reason with him. Shake sense into you.
Right?
Reason with him. So it just sounds more aggressive. It doesn't sound like me.
Yeah, okay. Go with the government.
Also, are we still in the paid option? Because we would leave if we weren't in the paid option, so this should be safe either way.
Right? Okay, I'm just try comfort him.
You don't want to see me suffer after all. Can't we have the same agenda?
Right?
I mean, I doubt me, so it's okay.
I mean, clearly, though, the thing is that past the point you also realize, so it's a very delicate balance going, you do sort of doubt them.
You do.
But even, like, sometimes also it's the fact that I literally doubt the circumstances surrounding you. I trust you. I don't trust the things you're interacting with.
However, this does not apply to other people. When someone goes, oh, I trust you, but I just don't trust them.
Right?
That is like...
I'm like, that gets really iffy, too.
That's a separate situation and should not be applied across this. This is all going. So, but someone going, basically, I trust that you will make good choices, but I also feel you're out of your depth and don't have all the information to make those choices effectively, even if they are good choices based on what you
I trust that you're well-intentioned, basically, and that you mean well and you want to do the best. But I feel like, basically, that, yeah, what you've said is, I don't have enough information, you're out of your depth, blah, 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 etc. So that would probably be more accurate than to the tone that I was more going for. So that's a good correction.
It's okay. I love swimming. The eels, you know?
Oh, God.
He leans down. Forward and down.
Down. Are you coming down? Hang on. I'm coming down.
No. Hello.
Hello, big guy.
I gently put him down to me. Hello.
Cut the last 6 feet.
Aw, hugs are lovely.
What am I? I am a chicken.
I was all for, like, he just hugged the heck out of me. No, he just pulled me in, like, with his elbows and put his hands on my neck. That's kind of cute.
I mean, he's
really big.
So honestly, he'd probably miss and he would, like, curl up over your head to be perfectly frank. You'd be like, look, this works great.
He's
look
very
at us.
tall.
We're very short.
You're a beautiful tall boy. It's fine. Okay, so he is holding me with 2 hands. That's very cute.
Like down here, so his elbows all the way out here.
It's
and
fine.
then he's a big boink. So he's got...
And we clap. It's fine. Except for we're still holding his face, so we're fine. Wait,
Why would you use that face? So I'm like, people are like, the lip bitey thing. I've actually heard it, like, I've actually seen a couple things on Tumblr, I went up to that, of being like, people are like, the lip bitey thing, and I'm like, huh? I just don't care for it, because it seems like it's really badly placed half the time, because we had one face for this expression.
This is the arousal face. This is also the face he had after he got in a knockdown fist fight at the pub.
Watching
bleeding out of his head.
yank
a dagger out of their abdomen. Like hot as hell, daggers out of the abdomen after a heavy bludgeoning. That is my bag. I'm like, hey, Julian.
You sound stressed.
You sound real stressed. Are you okay?
You really do.
So yeah, that face is wild for me. Anyway, it's fine.
I have conflicts about that face, truly. Oh, we're back to the spring and allergies again. God dang it. Holds.
Oh, as he holds me. Fine, I can read. He clutches at my arms like he could hold me back, but I muster the resolve to pull away. I'm going to get to the bottom of this, Julian. He reaches out for me again as I close the cell door between us. There's no reason to close the door. It's not locked.
This little puppy.
It's fine. Oh, baby.
Don't go. You can't get down there, and even if you can, it won't help. You get hurt. Come back. Nerd!
His desperate entreaties fade behind me.
Guards go, I'm sorry, did you enjoy your momentary silence alone and your days together? How was?
We're also just, guard, so how was visiting hours?
You're right. I feel like they're just Muppets. They sort of run around, they waggle, hello!
I'm also like, we met these two guards specifically named that we were introduced to. We saw at least one of them again, or both of them again in the market time when they were chasing us, and now it's just guards generic. What happened to the two important ones? Are they going to get illustrations? Why did we learn their names? Why did that conversation matter? It's fine.
It's fine.
The journey to the library passes in a haze. I can't banish the echo of Julian's voice in my mind. There's no time to waste. I need to open up that secret passage and search the dungeon. Why aren't we telling Nadia this thing exists? It's her castle. Going, Nadia, I'm still researching things. I've done my interview. There is a secret passage to a dungeon under your castle. I believe it needs to be investigated. It is inherently important to the trial.
It's time to investigate.
Because if she's running all of this, she should have, 1, information about the place she's living in, and 2, information about whoever else may know about it, if anyone else is working or can work down there. And 3, information for the sake of the trial if she's going to be running it. Like, all the way. I would be going to Portia to go to Nadia to help me have this conversation, and then I'd be like, Nadia, I have discovered in my interview that there is a secret dungeon under the castle. We need to go investigate it.
Let's do it!
Julian is otherwise tight-lipped about such things, and I need to see it for myself. And Nadia would go, dungeon, what?
In the library.
It's in the library.
In the library.
I love it. Would you like to go to the library? There's a dungeon in there.
What?
I said, oh, we have a dungeon in the library. You know what? Yes, love it. Let me give you the dungeon tour from the library.
God.
There's no time to waste.
Get your own, be sure to stop by the gift shop and get your own gift manacles on the way out.
Yay! They're like fuzzy manacles. It's fine.
And then you like flip it over and it says, courtesy of Julian Dvorak. This is actually what he was making.
These are like his personal fuzzy manacles.
No, this is courtesy.
I know. What were you designing down there? Sex toys, I'm sorry.
Lucio! Yeah!
Lucio! I told you to design better sex toys because they were boring as shit, and from, this, like, Nadia brought some cool ones from her country, but she can't go ever back there, so I need more designed here.
Quickly!
The market! We will sell them! Do you know there's this great underground market under the Colosseum? It's actually been there while the Colosseum was open too. And you know what? It's a red light district, and so we're just going to add, I think there's going to be a big market for cuffs down there, all kinds of toys. You, sit in that cell until you design me better toys.
Oh God,
I can't believe what I've done.
I'm a monster! Look at these sizes!
Hey, look at these designs! Colours are nice. Oh.
At least I've got an eye for colour.
I'm going to have to compete so hard with naughty dragons.
Why he has to wear the eye patches, he got whacked in the eye and he's never
Oh, God.
Or he got spurted in the face with a bit of...
No! It's hard to design this lube. It's terrible.
I cast
my mind back to last night. As I try not to die of laughter because Nerd is very serious in this moment.
Apparently.
And pull the trick books out again. Red, leather, and black with gold?
I bet
it's got to be the courtiers. One of those, I don't know. I don't know which one it is!
Or is it Nadia?
Black with gold. And oddly... Oh my god, we get it correct!
I was like, I betcha!
I betcha! It's the one with the mask. That's why they wear the mask, because they're going down there with the plague all the time. It's fine. With the plague. Are you with the plague? It's okay, I'm around the plague. My heart nearly leaps out of my chest. I whirl around, my pulse pounding, my every instinct screaming danger.
Yes! Get ready to talk to yourself again.
Yep, I didn't hear anything. I didn't feel anything. Was I really talking out loud about the books as I was pulling them? Really? The presence in front of me is a void. Okay, I recognize them. It takes me a few frantic seconds to dredge up the memory.
It's a little loud. Hang on.
It did get loud. It's also sad music. Like that.
I know.
Like, doo-doo. That is like sad music. I met them when Nadia introduced me to the courtiers in the salon. The only other room in this castle besides the bath, my bedroom, and the dining room. Oh, sorry. The veranda.
And also the veranda. It's true.
Yes, there are very few rooms in here. Don't forget the upstairs hallway. Okay, there's a lot of rooms in here.
All right, Lucio's room, and then the hallway.
Okay, in the salon.
Quaestor.
Yeah, so I'm like, I can pronounce it. I'm like, Quaestor. Quaestor Valdemar. Exactly so. Looking for the dungeons. Oh
my god, the head moves.
The head tilt was amazing. No one's ever done a head tilt. Poink. Hello. Their presence is deeply unsettling, but I can't turn back now. Or you could get help. It's not like they're going to be able to destroy the dungeon.
Why did we do this by ourselves? It's the song. Why do we do this by ourselves?
Because you see, we're very like Julian. We are a loner and impulsive. But we're not if we want to make our own choices. So I'm like, if we think there are dangerous people in Nadia's court, why are we running around by ourselves?
It's fine.
It's fine. We feel eminently safe. I cast a ball of light on their head.
In their eyes.
And they are blinded and cannot harm me further or make me feel the creepy heebie-jeebies.
Creepy heebie-jeebies.
The creepy jeebies.
Creepy jeebies. Heebie-heebie-hoobie-heebie-wobbles.
But I can't turn back now. Now that I think about it, didn't Julian mention Valdemar yesterday? Maybe they could take me down there.
Oh, boy.
Yes, I'm looking for evidence about Julian, Dr. Dvorak's work. Dr. Dvorak. Oh, wait. Doctor number 069. Yes. How wonderful. How delightful. I haven't taken anyone down there in ages. You simply must let me give you the full tour.
As soon as I tell my friends where I'm going, or get one of them to come with me.
They'll be like, you know what, I bet Nadia would love the full tour. I bet her sisters would love the full tour. We should take them all down there.
It would be great.
It would be lovely.
Excellent idea. I'll go get them right now.
Wait!
Suddenly the void goes, ah!
Also, again, were there other plague doctors?
Apparently there were.
These are the masks we used to wear, but we've never heard of any other doctors yet. And going, was I in this city when the plague was happening? Did I come here after the plague was happening? Do I not remember any of the plague happening?
Were we involved with the plague?
Right? Were we just hiding out with Asra, giving people, unguents and potions and herbs while the plague was going round?
Excuse me, hang on. No.
Let me just...
And I just dump this in the pig. I'd put a little powder in the thing and give it to little Timmy, and he'll be fine.
Here, we can't clear the plague, but this will control his fever in the meantime. We'll just move your house to the lee side of the stone. It's fine. They lean forward until their face is just inches from mine. I take a step back and hit the bookcase. Reaching over my shoulder, they deftly snag the last trick book and tug it out part way. The doorway to the tunnel slides open behind me, and I stumble backward into it. Well, good thing it doesn't swing open, because I'd have fallen on my butt. But the sliding is fine.
Uh-huh.
I just so loathe it when guests are excited. They slide around me and step into the tunnel.
Shloop.
Despite my sense of foreboding, I gather my courage and follow.
And I tell all my friends, and I tell
Yes, there we go. All right, well, it was lovely having you. This was a fascinating trip. And, this was so much longer than the other chapter right before it. Like,
I know.
Holy crap, wow.
I was actually like, I am now spoiled again, where they used to be shorter and we had less to talk about.
There was a lot in this one. It was great. Well, that was fun. So.
Well, gosh, I guess, hey, this has been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you. Bye!